Let's bring in now law and crime host and legal analyst Terri Austin for more. First of all, Happy New Year, Terri. So great to see you.
You too, Kira. Happy New Year.
Well, what do you make of these 3 counts on which the jury could not reach a verdict? Could the prosecution ask for a retrial, you think?
They could. I don't think they will. All they really needed was 1 guilty, because that is a significant amount of time for her to serve that 20 years. Those 3 counts were attached to investors, and they really couldn't decide whether or not those particular investors were defrauded. So they could not come to an agreement on those, and it was a no verdict. But I don't think the prosecution is going to spend all this time and money again to try those 3 counts.
So what kind of sentence could we see for Elizabeth Holmes?
So she was found guilty on 4 counts, and those were against the investors, not against the patients. Apparently, the jury didn't think there was enough of her involvement in those, but she could face 20 years each. And in these types of cases, you generally see those served concurrently, so I doubt very seriously if she's going to face that maximum of 80 years. There's no minimum here. We have seen people serving it concurrently and both consecutively. Bernie Madoff, for instance, is serving it consecutively. But I think here they're not going to give her consecutive. I think they're going to do it concurrent, and I think that it'll be on the lower end, if anything, and there's no minimum, so we could see a very low amount of time. But I think sufficient enough to serve for the punishment, to serve for others who might be thinking about defrauding investors.
All right, well, another case that we've been following since the very beginning. Let's talk about the lawyers now for Prince Andrew, who are trying to get the civil sexual assault case against him dismissed. How strong do you think that case is?
You know, I think that agreement that was just revealed recently between Epstein and Giuffre could protect him against some prosecution. It does say it releases other potential co-defendants. Now, of course, the argument will be it didn't include him, but I think that is a good argument for his team. And frankly, you know, he's trying to stall and say that it really shouldn't be brought against him, and he's trying to argue that he couldn't have possibly been involved in all of this. But I think his strongest argument to date is that agreement right now. It doesn't mean it'll work, but it's fairly strong.
So what impact could this newly unsealed settlement agreement then have overall on the case? And just moving forward, I mean, there are other accusations out there as well that lead back to victims and clients and relationships with Jeffrey Epstein.
Kira, you hit it on the head again. I think that that agreement really is going to have a huge impact on these other defendants, possible co-defendants, and they'll probably all try to argue the same thing as Prince Andrew. The real question is, was this intended to cover all of these individuals? Were they all involved in this entire scheme here, and were they involved with Giuffre? So I think that they're going to make the exact same arguments that Prince Andrew is making, and the question will be whether or not those arguments are going to hold up in court. It could very well be that the whole agreement doesn't affect the rest of them, and that there was no grounds or no consideration for all of that. But I haven't seen anything yet that says that that agreement wouldn't hold up.
All right, we'll stay on all these cases, of course. Always appreciate your input. Terri Austin, thanks so much.
Thank you, Kira.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.